boys. Let's remember our training.
Five, four, three, two, one.
We are some hippies, these are my friends. Come along with me, see how the story ends. We are some hippies, these are my friends. Come along with me, see how the story ends.
Well, I got the tunes there.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Glenn, if you can make that sound dope, that'd be cool. I don't know if there's enough FX to. Anyway, hey, welcome to another special episode of Professional Hippies. Back
Just
with our
another.
guest.
We couldn't go without him. Good old
Yeah.
Hamdog. We couldn't.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I like this tradition, honestly.
That's right. The dog.
Second annual.
That's right.
Right? Well,
Second annual 420.
hey, if you're one of our special guests, don't be afraid to get special with us on this episode. Typically we're one to try altered states of consciousness and bring them back to you. On this journey, we invite you to join us. Because today is
420.
420.
Call in to the 420 number. Give us your
Yeah.
shout out.
The Save Our Kids from the Devil hotline.
That's right. The devil's lettuce.
Reefer Madness.
Nobody sing.
Save us. Save the children.
Speaking of which, while we're getting into it over here, I felt like it would be a good time-honored tradition to go back to our roots.
Sentimental, to be honest.
So, I've got an apple here that I'm going to core out and, explore its insides. So to speak.
Oh, that's a great way to do that. Hell yeah.
Isn't that cute? Yeah,
Tradition.
that's something that it's for
Could have done a can. Could have done a can. Smoke the chemicals.
How do you get the middle part? You approach from one side and then you gotta.
I'll be honest, I've never done it that way. I've always just taken a pinch. You just gotta kick it in and then take from the other side. It's good.
I was wondering why this guy was looking at me like I was an animal when I was taking a pin apart. He said, "Fuck you, dude."
That's right, man. You don't take it apart. You just shove it in there until.
Yeah. Well, I guess you gotta ask for permission first or something. Jesus.
Apples don't need consent, man. It's just an apple.
We'll violate the rights of this poor thing.
The ones that ask for permission, no, they just go right in there and they go home.
Well, it's the visual for me.
He probably doesn't discriminate either. He probably does it with green apples and red apples.
Oh, dude. See, I'm a Honey Crisp or nothing kind of guy.
You know what? Those pink ladies can get a couple tastes of mine. And
Honeycrisp too. Honeycrisp is the champ of all apples.
Oh, of course. I mean, it's genetically modified to be the best apple there is.
Why are you such a hater when it comes to Honey Crisp? I don't understand it.
I'm not hating. I love Honey Crisp. I'm just saying there's other apples that are good too.
Here's the deal. If I told you that NFL players took steroids, would you suddenly go, I only like them all natural?
Yeah, I just would be like,
No, you look at the game and you go, I like the ones that run faster, lift more weights, rip.
Yeah, but do you, just because Tom Brady's the best, do you still talk about other players?
Tom Brady's all natural.
All I'm saying is just
And that's weird.
Here to
Unfortunately.
Okay. If I came across the Tom Brady of Pink Lady apples, I guarantee you I'd suck every bit of apple juice the thing's got.
So don't hate, appreciate.
Now, what you're not taking into account is the aggregate of the amount of not Tom Brady's there are that are juiced up.
What you're not taking into consideration right now is that Pink Lady apples have feelings too, just like Gala apples and just like Fiji apples. And the more that you just talk about Honeycrisp, the more you're discriminating.
I actually saw an ad one time.
Pink
They
ladies
took
are
the
down.
feelings out of these too. You know that? Honeycrisp actually want you to eat them. Pink ladies, they scream the whole time. That's why I don't like. If we're getting down to it,
That's why I can't stand it.
if we're really getting down to it, that's why.
If the Pink Lady scream, I'm like,
God damn, dude! Don't scream while I eat you. It's like people, dude. They won't shut the fuck up.
they don't.
Give me the titties.
Well, what about the Granny Smiths, the green apples?
Yo, fuck fuck those.
Oh, dude, fuck those
They're
apples.
terrible. They're bitter. They're gross. Nobody wants them. They're the things that like
That's the jabronis that just stare at you in the face when they want to fight, but they don't say anything. That's the green apple.
Yeah, what a
usually.
word,
It's just
dude,
staring
jabroni.
you.
That's your bro.
That's the apple. That's the apple staring you in the face, like, oh, you're gonna make that bitter face. Do it. Do it.
No, but it is the apple that's in all the free concierge breakfasts because they can't get sold anywhere else. And so
Gross.
the free breakfast buy them for probably pennies. You put them out and say,
I mean, we're at the point of humanity. Yeah, we can be selective. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Well, America can. I can't speak for everybody, but Americans,
Here.
taste. If you're gonna eat healthy, like it might as well taste good, right?
No, I prefer my healthy to taste bad, so I can really reinforce that.
I forgot. Can you hand me like one of a push pen? I need to spray that.
You're really struggling with that thing.
No.
You're doing the best you
This
can.
is I've made the holes, so both the guys. Why don't you all talk about something that our listeners want to hear about? So fucking.
What's the craziest thing you ever smoked out of,
Me?
Michael?
Oh, I used to
Hamdog.
smoke out of some stupid stuff.
Yeah, probably
Let's
fucking
go.
math out of a light bulb. Too close to home.
Hold on. We're not feeling all the cards back yet. Anyway.
Wait, does this go on LinkedIn?
He just tagged me on LinkedIn. I want to make sponsors.
My Alcoholics Anonymous sponsor. My NASCAR.
Need to go all the sponsors. Listen to your show.
Anyway, I smoke a lot out of tinfoil. Like one time, I made a bowl out of tinfoil.
Done that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's done that one.
I smoked out of
Soda can?
Yep, soda cans.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2-liter bottles. One time, before I really had a brain and I wrapped my head around what flame does to plastic, I just poked holes in a plastic 2-liter bottle, put the weed on the plastic, and I let that shit try to smoke it.
What do you get higher off of, right?
I don't know, but it made me cough so bad. It was horrible. Oh yeah.
I did silly putty once. We had a few
That's
pieces of
fun.
silly putty and put it together, and we made the whole of the path, and then a little tinfoil, so we're not smoking silly putty.
Yeah.
You put that on top of there and smoked it through there.
You need a different pen.
I'd say probably the best. Best fruit.
Push pen. Yeah, that works.
The best
Much easier.
best vegetable to smoke out of is a carrot. Better than an apple. If you get those big fat carrots, you wouldn't think it. But get a big fat carrot, it's really rock solid, and it tastes so good.
Not a skinny carrot.
And then it's gonna be big fucking
Big fat
carrot.
carrot.
One of the big fuckers.
A lot of girth to it.
A lot of girth.
Hey, Glenn, if you could do something with all this, that would be great. Thank you.
All the girth. Give us all of it.
But why would it? How would that taste good though? It's a root.
I don't know. I just remember thinking, wow, this feels like smoking carrot juice. And it's like, obviously, that's not like candy. But when you're talking about tasting smoke out of tinfoil and smoke out of a carrot, you'd be amazed. It tastes pretty fucking good.
Orange is pretty good.
Because you were just comparing carrots and tinfoil.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah, no shit, it's going to taste better than tinfoil.
This was the generation, this was the time when I was using a carrot. So it's like your standards, your
Dude, I'm
comparison.
holding an apple. The age has nothing to do here.
Here's the thing, though. I feel like you waste the apple because apples are good.
No, this guy's already kind of a little rotten. So.
Oh, yeah. So it was a good sacrifice.
Yeah, exactly.
So you got a really healthy apple, you kind of mad at yourself. You're like, I could have eaten that apple. And then you eat one that you smoked out of, you're like, this is a great idea. And then you bite into that little pipe and you think, what?
Oh, yeah, you gotta stay away from the pipe.
Yeah, it's like,
That's
that's
not,
gross.
yeah, that's not a good idea. I distinctly remember using the spring as some kind of screen or filter before. I feel like it's doing nothing but obstructing
The spring?
Yeah, in the past I put the spring in there to use it as like a screen.
I've never done that shit. You just
No,
put
because you're
put a nug.
fucking light bulbs and
Right.
tinfoil and plastic bottles. Did I get it?
You put a nug down and then you put the sprinkle on
No one showed you how to do anything properly.
Oh, this guy over here thinks he jokes.
No, it's okay.
I figured it all out on my own, man.
I mean, it is making a lot more sense now. I mean, It's coming together. Now we found out about your past a little bit. That's making a lot more sense. The hair's gone. Smoking plastic, the hair's gone. The wit's a little off.
If you like your hair good, stay with plastic. And the meth, the light bulbs.
Meth will do it. Probably Gatorade wrappers.
Smoke something out of the light bulb. Yeah, I think some well-known, very well-geared smoke DMT out of light bulb.
I feel like I've heard that.
Out of
Can you connect to it?
a light bulb?
Yeah, I just don't want to keep it in.
How do you smoke out of a light bulb?
Dude, you think I'm over here joking? You bust the end off that bad boy in freebase. I mean, from what I've heard.
I'm trying to think how this is done. Was it like one of those ones you go into a cafeteria and it's a long one?
The inside of light bulbs light bulbs have argon gas in them, which is real not good for you.
That probably gets you trippy though.
I don't know. I think it just goes straight to pain. I don't even think you can get anything out of it. Just straight pain.
At least you feel something. That's sometimes the pursuit.
They coat the inside with something else. But yeah, nothing that you definitely want to be inhaling for sure.
I would assume no. Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, I think you just kind of tap around. I've also wondered how do you get that metal casing off the end of the light bulb without it just
Shattering.
I
Does that mean the big long ones though? The big one light bulbs, the fluorescent ones, those are like the bongs of the light bulb.
No, those I busted a couple of those because I replaced them for my garage the other day. I can 100% confirm you don't touch those things without them. They don't just like break; they fucking explode.
It's
Super
awesome.
annoying. Well, yeah,
Yeah,
awesome
awesome.
when you don't have to deal with
I was about
it.
to say, legit to clean that shit up.
Yeah.
Real fun when you can shatter and walk away.
Did you do it in your driveway?
No, what? Yeah, no, I did it in my bedroom, right beside my bed.
Actually, I thought you were going to smash them on bricks on your bed.
Yeah, for sure. I was gonna rub them in the sheets.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yellow beans.
right in the pool. We have a pool, right? Just smash them in there.
I actually
It'll
put them
filter out.
in the trash can, the city trash can, and had the lid closed, and had one of my swords, and just broke it just to make some space. And with all of 4 inches of gap, half the light bulb managed to crawl out and run around my garage. I was actually like impressed. I was so past pissed. I was like, I don't know. Shards went fucking everywhere.
You could even have some fun with it. Leave it in the garbage can. Wait for the garbage man to come. Watch the surprise.
The fucker went and closed, and the garbage man and I already have pour at this point. So
He chewed me out first day.
yeah, I'm not on great terms. I'm convinced. I've watched this guy sling garbage out of my shit. So I'm like, dude, all right, I get it.
Did you have trouble with the garbage man in Tampa too? Like because of that small street.
Yeah.
He just laid down the horn for 5 minutes until someone came.
That happened one time when I lived there. And
Oh, it did happen one time when you were there.
Oh,
That happened multiple times.
fucking hell, dude. They're just like, oh, I got nothing else to do.
Union labor at its finest. I got the most job security in the world, so fuck you.
Yeah. Well, I did go out
It
there.
is effective though. It obviously
I
worked.
did go out there and move that shit.
Well, for anybody that didn't tune into that, we had really small streets in Tampa, and if God forbid the garbage man couldn't get through, I was the newest guy on the block, would just single my house out. There's public parking. You can park wherever the fuck you want, but I guess the other people being there for a certain amount of time establish tenure. So when you're in a heightened situation, your time slows down. You're angry, you're happy, you're sad. Time dilates. So when I'm literal as shit right now, like no exaggeration, your experience has never been at 5 minutes, right? There was one time it was like 10 minutes.
Yeah, mine was probably 2 minutes, to be honest.
Okay.
3 minutes.
Literal. I sat there. I tried to wait the man out.
He said, fuck this guy.
Think about the seasons of emotion you experience when there's a garbage truck on your street, uninterrupted, unbroken, laying on the horn. It's 6:20 in the morning.
I'm surprised you didn't like try to counter it and blare your speakers. You're like, all right, Mr. Garbage Man, you got your beat. I'm gonna throw down mine.
the man do at that point?
I was so uncomfortable. I was physically like, oh my God, on edge. 'Cause I was like, I didn't know what to do.
Man's just trying to do his job. He's just trying to make it hard.
All I gotta do is back up.
Oh yeah, man. Let's just take this fucking 4-ton truck that you can't see.
But now, yeah, he has to go around
But
and then back up again to leave the
It's gonna
street.
do because he bought a
He has
house.
his wisdom.
He bought a house on a road that's too small, and then he used the parking on the street all the time. And now he's mad because the garbage man can't do his job.
Says the man that parked on the street. What are you talking about?
I did not park on the street.
You did inhale. What? Yeah. Do I put the straw in there in an extension? I mean, I'm just kind of like going overboard on this.
Yeah, no, I think you like the car a good, but.
Guess that noise.
I did not inhale the
I did
marijuana.
not have sexual relations with that woman.
I smoked it, but I did not inhale it.
That's not true. You know, Bill Clinton did have sexual relations with that woman.
How do you
But
know?
he did not inhale.
You don't know that. He might have. He said he didn't, so you probably believe him.
Didn't I tell you guys about the
I did not
transcript?
inhale. She inhaled.
The government is always fun to twist it. He would have lied to us about that.
Oh yeah, the transcription from when he took the cigar and dipped it in a vajayjay and then lit it and he went, that's a fine tasting cigar.
America.
That was in the what do they call it? Disposition.
It's a very American thing to do. And
When you heard that statement, okay, did you catch the drift on that, Dylan? That's what Bill Clinton said after having sexual relations with Monica Lewinsky.
Yes. Yeah.
When you hear that statement, do you lose favor with that president, or does he gain favor?
I think he stays neutral because I would think
I think I'm like, I get
all
it.
that power.
That
Alright,
statement,
that's-
I'm saying for you personally, your personal opinion. You
Does
stay
it go
neutral.
up? Does
Yeah,
he, like him as a
gain
person,
points
go
if you're
up or
up
down?
lose points?
Oh, he gained points
he-
for
he-
sure. He gained several
Right.
points. It went
Yeah,
up
it was-
several levels.
No, it's like, had that been like his woman or he was single or so many points up, would have been a big up.
I think you're being a little politically correct. Okay, you definitely thought through. You let the emotion hit, and then now you're using logic. Okay, so to counteract that. Okay, remember he's a lizard person, so that changes everything. Changes everything.
True.
Reptiles have no loyalty.
I know, just like Will Smith.
Glenn, can you drop some kind of bomb there? Or something?
Hey, I'm gonna pause this real fast. Hold on.
Why?
Back into it.
Makes sense because it's like 420, so you're confused
This is probably-
I mean,
because of the drugs.
yeah, just like cool commercial break to inform me of something we already knew. That's great.
Sick, dude.
we figured it out.
Back to Will Smith and that soy boy beta cook.
Dude, it's been getting worse for that guy too.
Dude, that guy's life is in a spiral.
I
And the
think-
first thing my buddy says to me, he goes, "If you don't think that was planned, then you're asleep."
Oh my god, right? Like,
So many people think that was planned. Yeah, a lot of people do.
I mean,
What-
what the fuck are you planning?
Why would Will
Here's what I
Smith
think.
give up risk so much? Like, you think the Academy Awards are going out of business?
No, here's what I think. I think he got tired of his pedophilia. He's like, I don't want to touch little kids anymore. But they have so much on him. They're like, you can't be a superstar if you don't touch little kids. So he's like, okay, I'll just make public humiliation so that I don't have to tell everybody that I'm a pedophile.
In my book, here's the unfortunate truth, because I saw something on Reddit about what's her name? Jada? Is that his wife's name? Yeah. So she went live on her Facebook, one of her social profiles, and was trying to get Will Smith to like apologize on the live stream. And I just saw a clip of it. The tension was palpable. It was so awkward, that cringy, like they're not having a moment. Like she's like backing this man into a corner and like, you apologize to the world or whatever. Like, oh, dude, so you could feel some level of toxicity seeping through. This was like a dropping of the curtain. And so it wasn't like when there was that setup where Will was like, "The fuck is was it an arrangement? What was it called? Entanglement." He's like,
Entanglement.
yeah, so it wasn't polished like that moment. It was like you're seeing a window into someone's private life, and it's so I can only imagine how much of that played into him just not being.
Well, she said recently on, I guess, their podcast that they do, she was crying down the aisle because she didn't even want to get married. She said to Will Smith.
That's so fucked up.
Literally said that.
That's so cringe. Like, why would
When
you?
did they get married? Before the kids? Or, like,
90s.
okay.
Before kids in the 90s, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, here's the deal. I know that every level of society comes with its problems. You can't get away, whether you're born into the rich or born into the poor, you can't get away from your own insecurities, and life just always not working out. But damn, she's got to be loaded.
It is interesting how he went from like one of the most well-liked levels of all-star, The Rock as far as celebrity goes, down to like now it's like half and half.
It's pretty dicey right now.
Yeah.
Pretty dicey.
He would have been probably like a top actor for sure, if not the top actor in Hollywood right now. Then
Yeah, I mean he was at kind of like that level of fame with The Rock, which he still is, but like likability, everyone pretty much liked Will Smith, and now everyone there's so many.
To hold him now. Like it's like part of me is like, yeah, man, good for you doing whatever the fuck you feel like. But then I like put it into historical context. And I'm like, that's never really happened. Like a celebrity of that status has never got up and like, I mean, kind of call it what it is. It's a bitch move. It's a slap, but for better or lack of term.
But it's also that level of celebrity slapping another very high end celebrity.
Yeah, like
Chris Rock is huge in the comedian world.
And this wasn't like a roast. This wasn't like, something that
it was
happens all the time. This is like something that what people really hold in really high regard and esteem and accolade. Like, this is.
Well, I think they brought the comedians in to start livening it up a little bit because it's been comedians hosting, and they've been like roasting a little bit to get, I think, more people to watch.
Oh, it's funny.
Just to see the actors get roasted on a little bit. So I think it's been turning more into that.
Yeah, like even if that was a totally uncalled for statement, it's like maybe the crowd doesn't really laugh very much, and then Will Smith's like, fuck you, says something. It's like, oh, shitty. And then
did you see Jim Carrey's response?
I did. Yeah, I was actually telling Michael and Abby about that the other night.
What did he say? I don't remember.
He said he would have sued Will Smith for $200 million. He's like, man, that video is going to live on forever. That damage is done. Like
that damage is done. Lives on forever. He was a comedian too, so a lot of comedians were standing up for Chris Rock.
Yeah, for sure. It was like it wasn't even that crazy of a joke.
Yeah, I mean, it's just come on, dude. And like, comedy is like one of those things where you gotta be able to say and hear whatever. No one is safe in comedy. That's the thing.
No.
It's the relief from the truth. When you can laugh about the truth, it makes it easier to heal.
Mm-hmm.
And so to like try and censor that, which is essentially what Will Smith said, is like, hey, you can't say that to a very large public audience. It's like, dude, you need to get a grip, bro.
And think of what that does as far as like comedians too. Of like, now if I saw this high level of a person go up and hit a comedian because they made fun of somebody, what if that comedian makes fun of me now? I feel like I now have a right to go up at the Improv to slap them. Like what counter effect does that have?
Going now, what comedy the effect comedy can have. Thinking about this made me think of when Obama made that joke about Donald Trump never being president.
Yeah. Everyone laughed too.
Whatever dinner that was, like they do like a presidential dinner and invite a bunch of celebrities and people, and they'll make jokes.
It's the media one. It's like a media sponsors. All the major media outlets put on this banquet.
Obama roasted Trump for not being president.
No.
Yeah, because there's
he's like, you'll never be president kind of statement. That's a joke. It's a funny joke. I mean, Jelly Bean, pull that up.
But they were showing everyone laughing at it, but this one camera focused on Trump after that joke while everyone's laughing. The only one in the room not laughing, straight face.
Because he was like, I'm going to be fucking president.
No, that was the moment. I remember this. He had no real desire to be president. Just kind of tossing around, like whatever, and like that's where the joke kind of came from.
Since
like,
the 80s.
And then that night was the night the villain was born. You saw like that was a prototypical like Marvel movie moment where you just saw like a villain.
The villain is born.
And he's like, "I'll show you,
Yeah.
father."
Yeah. Y'all keep talking.
Thanks. Appreciate the permission.
Appreciate that tip, dog. And I was gonna stay silent, but
Whoa, wow.
with that permission, I'm just
What I do.
keep going.
This tastes way better. Not really, but kind of. It tastes really good. Way better than that.
It's always a little something.
Your weed looks like dirt. I don't,
Yeah.
I don't mean to fry, but like.
Well, that's probably
Ain't shitting on the dude's weed here.
I don't know. I mean, it's probably 2.5 years old.
It looks like little dirt. Like I'm not trying to like even
That
fry.
does not look like literal dirt. You said on green dirt.
That's a middle schooler weed right there. It sounds like.
You know what? I'm gonna say it. I don't believe I've said it publicly on this podcast before, but I've damn sure said this, and I'll say it again.
Exclusive.
I appreciate real solid middle grade weed. I think the age of making our weed more mutant, more one hitter quitter, and just way too fucking strong. What's the point? You know? What's the point?
You're right. Why do we make cars better? Why do we make spaceships fly farther?
Let's
just keep it
faster. I mean, let's just
keep everything regular, you know? Let's not try to improve ourselves in this world.
All of these things are great.
Screw going to
How
Mars.
many spaceships are you driving to the fucking grocery store? None. I can smoke some of this shit one hit and be rocked for hours. Or
That's great for you. You know, you're like Grandpa. Give me my 1950s Cadillac. I'm good. I don't need to go fast.
Thank you so much. That's literally what he sounds like. I don't need the new ways.
I don't need to improve.
If I could find my 1950s Cadillac, whatever the fuck I wanted, it'd be great. You literally can't.
Yeah, you know what?
Good.
You know what? Screw lasers. We're just gonna go back to fucking lighters. We don't need no lasers. Who needs to approve those?
I'll be honest. You live in a legal state. That middle of the rat pack weed, you can go get an ounce of it for like $100. It's there.
And that's what that's what I'm after. That's what I want.
But you know, as these days, time is money. I don't want to buy a whole bunch of stuff that I'm gonna have to require to smoke a lot in order to get to where I'm trying to go.
Right. I just want to do a little bit.
Let's hit it. 1 or 2, good to go. I'm good.
I get caught with 4 grams. It's 4 grams of weed, no matter what, no matter if it's good weed or bad weed. Right?
That's a good
I'm
point.
talking about taste.
Give me the good weed, and I'll just
/ potency, because you can always make the argument like just mix in some CBD.
Like you ever do like cocaine? I like my cocaine cut.
Yeah.
I prefer. Would you please put lots of baking soda in there?
Well, what I'm really trying to get down to is the ritual of breaking down the weed, hacking it. I enjoy that. The smell. I enjoy that almost as much as I do actually that.
But like higher quality weed also smells better too.
Tastes better, looks better.
Tastes better, smells better. Like I could tell in a crowd, I smell some low grade weed. I'm like, that's some skunk weed right there.
That's some bush wet. And then you can
Smell
that. You're like, that's some chronic. You can smell it.
Smell a ton of You smell a ton of it. You smell a ton of it in the at festivals. Funny enough, usually when you're in the hood, you smell the better quality weed, and when you smell like weed out in like a golf country club, it's usually bunk weed.
You know what's so funny? I thought about this the other day, but I thought this might be like I wouldn't want to say it because it feels like it might be a racist thing to say, but it's just an observation. As somebody who smoked weed for a decade, I can say without a shadow of a doubt, all like 90-10% of the time, black people always have better weed and better deals. I don't know why, but like the dealers that I've worked with, if they have skin color, their weed is always better and more potent than if I buy weed from anybody else. Weird observation,
100%.
right? And it's just over 10 years, it's just so consistent that you're like, wow, don't like to make prejudiced comments, but
I tend to agree, but hearing you trying to navigate that
I know,
while being
like,
politically correct is just the best thing I've ever heard.
because I mean,
For sure, you're just saying black people always have better weed
and better deals. You're like, why are you only charging me?
That's not a bad thing to say. That's that's a great thing to say.
Yeah, dude. When it comes to that regard, man, it's like, but here's the difference, okay, between saying I'd like my cocaine cut and my weed worse. It's I'm really dialing on the flavor component. If I can get it not as fucking strong, but smell and taste is good, that's
They
what
have that. They literally have that. They have that. Like I
my
bought some
weed
Don
is-
Shula. I bought some Don Shula in Colorado. I only bought it because I was actually wearing a Dolphins outfit, and I was like, and I saw that at the store. I was like, I can't walk out of here without buying some Don Shula weed. But it was great tasting, but not as strong. So I could enjoy it while doing other things that I wanted to do, like mow my lawn or something, and not be off my rocker. But it also tasted great, you know. So they have that. If you like, you just have to pay for it.
Who doesn't like mowing their lawn off their rocker? I'm talking what?
I mean, when you're,
I mow the lawn on my rocker. Fuck.
I'm gonna come in for a water break, sit down. All of a sudden, I look outside. It's dark. I don't want that to happen.
You don't have the grit. You don't have the determination. See, I get high, then I go get that yard work done. I say, I don't know how long
That's a
it
lie.
takes.
You don't get shit done. You don't even get to the shed to open the door to get the lawnmower out of there.
The trick. Don't have a lawn. Don't set expectations. And then I like didn't do much. You just did everything you were supposed to.
See, that's how you get. That's what you are talking about. That's why you like going off your rocker. It's like I don't have a lawn. I don't have to worry about it. This all started because I made the smart decision not to get a lawn.
Yeah.
I will say that lawn is a love-hate relationship. Now that I got it treated one time for weeds, and already, like you can just tell, man, this is gonna be a really nice, thick lawn. I hate paying for the water.
Did you redo your lawn at this house? Your new house?
It came with a pretty good lawn. I mean, I put in
Oh,
a
that's
bunch
good.
of mulch and stuff, clean up the edges. And
Yeah.
I'm really going back and forth on whether or not I want to put a garden in. Just get like some big trenches.
Yeah.
Or some
Well,
food.
you know what you could start with is that I saw this actually at Home Depot. You can it's a trench, probably about 2 times bigger than this. The trench is already made and set up off the ground. It's plastic with like metal bracing at the bottom. But you can start with that, see how you like it, because it's not very deep, so you don't need much dirt. And then if you like it more and you want to get bigger, then start building your nice wooden ones that you want. That's a
Yeah,
good start,
yeah.
I feel like.
I'm picturing doing something like that. I was just like, what would I want to grow? It'd just be nice to grow some of my own food. You know, some lettuce.
Dude, not only feel good, it feel empowering.
Yeah.
What is that? What was that meme? Spent $180 for all this gardening equipment for a 20-cent tomato.
But damn, did that tomato feel so good?
All the nutrients are so much better too.
Yeah, I mean,
You're direct to source. You're right there, son.
that's right. And we ain't wasting no time in the grocery stores.
Right.
This used to be a landfill, but I have turned it into
You're
gardening.
I shit straight into the garden, son. Talk about recycling.
And it hadn't been working till I did.
I make my own compost, and we roll it in every 3-month cycle. I tell you what, that's why we do a burrito a week just to keep it really filled.
Keep the tank flowing.
Dudes are always fans of food. I mean, you won't have a dude talk without some food talk.
I'll tell you what, sometimes I forget I have a girlfriend and I'm hanging out with her, and all of a sudden that urge to talk about poop will come on. And you realize, well, this is not way the same way. You're not receiving this like you should. Why can't you appreciate poop like
Why can't you appreciate poop jokes or a good fart joke?
or just good poop commentary? Like, you know, if I had a good one slip out, I just want to share.
And they're coming around the backside, coming around. Oh, it's getting sucked. It's getting sucked. Oh my god! Just yelling that from the bathroom. Oh, we got the chicken fries coming up. Ah!
It's not just that, burping too, man. Like earlier when you heard me burp, there was just like such a deep sense of. And you know what I found out the other day? If you hold a fart in long enough, the body takes that and it actually converts it to a burp.
That's right. They're the stinky burps too. Yeah, the ones where you're like, what the fuck, dog?
So it's coming out one into the other. I don't know which you think is like socially acceptable. I'm just letting it rip. You know what I mean?
It's coming out one way or the other. It's better out my ass than in your face.
However,
That's my biggest fear. I don't want to be freaking burping up farts. That's like, oh gosh, imagine the taste. You never get that out of your head, man. Ever. And then you don't trust your burps. Then you hold those in, and then you just got gas.
oh,
Stomach.
Well, it just keeps going back and forth. You're really on like a long
So
date.
one side is just like, yo, bitch, this ain't, you can't hold it in. People say, not today, but.
not today, son. Sometimes you just get hit. You know, everyone's flipped.
You know.
You ever been out somewhere and you really had to go? Like you had to take off to the bathroom immediately. You don't even say anything. You just dip.
Yeah.
You're like,
You get a hot
I have had shit sweats.
it's like really hot, and you can feel like, oh Lord, what just? Oh, you know, you got about 20 seconds.
it's getting worse. It just builds up in you.
It's a very particular feeling. It doesn't happen often. When it does, it's like, oh shit, where?
I had that happen to me getting off a train in Germany.
Oh,
And oh my God, the sense of urgency that I had inside of me, I ran off the train and like found the bathroom. They like, you paid for it or whatever. And whatever currency I had was not currency that I needed for this bathroom. I had money, I had a lot of money in my hand and waving it around. I mean, I had to get in that bathroom so desperately bad. The look on my face, the panic. Some poor man locked eyes with me, and I locked eyes with him. I was like, I need fucking money to get in this bathroom. Save me. Oh my God, he was my angel. But yeah, I mean,
Did y'all ever have it when you're out on since y'all went to like homes, y'all ever have that while y'all were on a Cutco sale or something?
for sure.
Yeah.
yeah, I actually shit my pants on that. God damn, man. You know, I actually forgot about this memory. This is a little deep in there. Sold him a homemaker. I could have ripped it off kitchen and everything. But I remember walking out. I wouldn't even let myself sit in my car. I had to I had a towel in my backseat and shorts, and I wrapped the towel around mine, took my pants off, and wiped my butt with the towel, and put the shorts on, and drove home a little bit like. It was horrible. It was horrible. But that doesn't even top the first time I ever shit my pants. You guys want to hear a terrible story? I'll tell you what, this will take a change. One time I was working in a restaurant. I was like 17, and I was training to be a server. And I was talking with the table. My trainer was right there, and I went to go let out a little fart, and I shit my pants. I was like, oh fuck! And I wasn't wearing underwear. I don't know why. I just wasn't wearing underwear. And I instantly had to run to the bathroom. I give the thing to my trainer. I run to the bathroom, and I go in there, and I shut the stall. And I'm freaking out. I take my pants off, and I'm freaking out. It's nasty. So I dip my pants in the toilet, and I'm trying to wipe the shit off. And I'm like, oh my god, this isn't working. And so I'm freaking out. And so then with no pants on, walk out of the stall into the bathroom so anybody can walk in. And I have my foot jammed in front of the door. I'm going to wash my pants off with my dick just hanging wide over here. And I fucking do it. I dry my pants. I go back to the stall. I put them on. And then I finish the shift. I finished that shift. Why I didn't go home, I don't know.
Oh my god.
But yeah.
Oh my god. I left that for a long time.
Yeah, man. That shit's annoying.
Oh, that's everything I wanted. I like I'm so glad I asked that question. The rate of return on that was just so high.
Oh,
I think I broke something.
why you eat your vegetables?
Oh shit!
Try to avoid Taco Bell 2 meals in a row.
Oh, oh,
Hell, dude.
wow.
That's
Love Colton's like, oh yeah. And it's like, oh yeah, I shit in my pants on a call.
Oh yeah, I think that's the best question you've ever asked him.
That's definitely a top one. The rate of return on that one, that's my best investment so far. Oh my god. So I'm guessing you've never shit your pants on a call, Colton. Maybe you just excuse yourself.
No, I'm just.
That seems like the logical thing to do.
I mean, I've just always done the decent thing and shit in the toilet for them. But
Well, here's the thing. Sometimes you think it's a fart, right? Back to the farting thing, where you're like, you're just gonna slip it out, and it's not a fart. So now, in my older years, I understand the tenacity.
I've definitely had a sharding moment when I went out for a run with actually when I was living with James. Him and I went out for a run, and we were a good distance away from the house. And I was like, "Oh, I've got a fart coming." Not a fart, absolutely not a fart. And I just go, "I'll catch up," but I dip away and go behind a dumpster. I was dump the drawers, finish your business, and go.
Did you shit out there after that?
100%. If I'm doing that,
You're already halfway there. Let's get it out.
Drop your drawers, lay it out so you can just pick it up and throw it in the trash can and keep going.
That's a man's way. I can say I've never done that before. I've shit in the woods, but never next. But
I mean, what else? What else was I going to do? I had nowhere. I couldn't run. There was no business.
you're a fucking animal. It's okay.
I just went behind. Oh yeah, in that moment for sure, I had to almost man it up.
Shit in the woods is nice unless you're constipated. Constipated sucks. You're like, I have to poop, and you can't sit there and just relax, and like you're like trying to clench one out. And you're like,
and it sucks too because that's what like it's tough with that mountain house food, like they come in the packets. You're going one way or the other on that. There's no middle ground.
smelly farts and
Dude, farts from
that's the worst smelling fart I've ever smelled.
and then
From the mountain house stuff, yeah.
You know, I'm in my own tent. I'm in my own bag.
I'm gag. It's like I like to smell my farts. No. Next time you gotta get that dry freezer dryer.
Air dryer.
Oh no,
Vacuum.
this thing's falling.
It's falling apart.
Yeah, those are the worst, especially you get towards the end of the week. Like we only did it for a weekend. I had to do it for a week when I go on this big long trip in California. It gets rough towards the end of the week.
Dude, those are hands down gonna be raunchy after a week. I did some long trips, and I'll tell you,
They're still good, but they hurt after a
three or
week.
four, yeah, after day 3 or 4, you're like, I need the vegetables.
I'm gonna stick with this Pop-Tart today, guys. I think I'm all right.
I think I can just try fasting for once.
Have you gone on any backpacking trips out there since you moved out there?
We went out for a couple days. Went to had a nice little hike. It was a long one around the lake, but nothing other than that.
Nothing other
That's
than
where I lost my toenail.
I know. That's where I got some gnarly blisters on that trip. My whole foot was coated in blisters.
My toenail's
Really?
You know, it was just
Why?
I don't know why. I don't know. First one in a long time. I don't know why.
Maybe because I don't know. Maybe because it's drier out there. You think your feet just dried up? and they just
Well, actually, what I
just
did
got
was
blistered.
is I had too thick of socks. And it was kind of warm. So my feet were really sweaty. And they were wool, so they were like synthetic wool, so I thought they'd be fine. But
That's interesting because normally you need that when you're hiking on the East Coast because it's usually cooler weather when you're hiking here.
Right.
But out there, it's probably a lot warmer most of the year, so you just need to.
warm in the day, and then it dropped real cold at night. Ain't no North Carolina, that's for sure.
I experienced that with Chrissy and I went out to New Mexico. Like I couldn't believe it how hot it would get during the day and freezing out at night. We went from Albuquerque down to El Paso. I couldn't believe how cold it would get at night. Also, I didn't realize that was my first experience of how much like maps suck. Of like, oh yeah, it's like it looks like it's that small, but it's just a vast, humongous distance of nothing out there.
Desert. But it's new.
Like it looked like a trip that would take 2 hours, which in other parts of the world, you do that amount of space looks like it does take only 30, 45 minutes. But then in New Mexico, it's the same size. What normally takes 30, 45 minutes in other places turns out to be 4 hours.
Well, because it's new. Right?
I know.
You go to Mexico, but
Everything's new.
everything's new. And that's why it takes longer.
But I also met somebody on the plane on the way back. They were like, "Oh yeah, we're flying from Dallas to Houston or Houston to Dallas, one of the two." I was like, "Oh wow!" Like now that I'm coming back from New Mexico, I can understand why that makes sense now. I'm like, why don't you just Orlando to Tampa, Orlando Miami? The cost doesn't make much sense. You just have to drive it because it's just that close still.
Yeah,
But
Texas.
Dallas to Houston's that's a move.
Yeah,
How far is that?
I don't know, like 8 hours.
How far?
Yeah.
The total shot in the dark, by the way. It could be 2 hours.
Yeah, I was like, I think they're like Dallas, Houston, and Austin are like 3 hours apart, aren't they?
The sun never sets.
We landed in Dallas and he was flying to a place long away.
Sick,
Yeah,
just keep bringing in the logic.
I think Houston's on the other side of Texas, isn't it?
Dude, all I know is nobody wants to be in Houston. It's hot. Hot.
Is Dallas as big as Austin is?
I think Dallas is bigger.
Dallas is definitely way bigger.
Yeah, Dallas has like
Yeah?
an international airport. Like Austin is an international airport, but Dallas has like one of those.
Austin,
That airport is huge.
Yeah, it's only 3.5 hours from Dallas to Houston.
Maybe he meant El Paso because I just remember him.
But I said that confidently.
Saying
I mean, that's holding it.
was a distance.
I told you were wrong. That's sure.
But that's up, correct? I didn't identify with that.
Well, as long as you don't identify, then I'm not gonna have
We need Glenn just to have the answer across, like floating across the top.
Who is Glenn? Huh? Who is Glenn?
You don't know who Glenn is?
Glenn, I'm sorry, I don't know you. Buddy.
How do you not know who Glenn is?
But
Bro, come on.
my middle name's Glenn, so
He's
shout
the
out.
superstar of this show.
We know who doesn't listen to the podcast.
But
Glenn's the best editor in the world.
thanks, Glenn. You're gonna edit all the silly things that I say and make them more silly.
Just put a clown face over him the whole time.
Oh, no.
Talking to bitches all on my dick and every day, sucking on my balls, licking on my balls.
To me, that's the 2020 anthem, in my opinion.
20.
That was our Tennessee trip anthem. That was the whole anthem that year. I lived off that trip the rest of the year.
That trip was a beautiful thing. I think we got to take it back to the farm, man. You know?
I think so. Well, now that Luke's supposedly moving up there, we have a direct point of contact.
Let's do it.
We'll just make Joe drive all of our stuff up there. Pay him like a couple $100. Here you go, buddy. Drive it on up there. Thanks.
I will give you 1 penny and a lunch. And a lunch.
Do you have like a random lunchbox hanging around?
If you ever read a lunchbox, we can get them.
And put 1 penny in it.
Give them more than 1 penny. Maybe 3.
Have a
1 penny.
The lunch.
We'll give it 1 penny and
What a
we'll give
random
them
offer.
one cinnamon wheel. Not the both. We won't give them the whole pack. We'll take it out, one of them out of the pack, and put it.
Well, if you make it enough individual different things, then it will appear to be a high value, and therefore he won't be able to resist. So the penny, the lunchbox, you know.
Man, you sound like a lender. We throw in all these things. It's really going to take down the cost of your rate, your service fees, everything.
That's right. You just add more money and it'll pay off in the end.
Or it's like when you're buying a truck. Well, here you sneezed earlier, so we threw off $5 just to say you're welcome.
You're welcome. Bless you.
Bless you. By the way, $5. And all these add up to where you get a negative 500 discount. So you actually owe us $500. And we hope you enjoy the truck.
I love my truck.
Don't go back to that.
Yeah. Well, hey, the donation center is open anytime.
Well, consider you what that gym that is there.
Oh, jeez. You all right there, buddy?
Start to take your awareness elsewhere because like this guy in his donation center.
I mean, it's tax free.
Michael, what do you get in your truck?
Dude, I don't need a truck. Today's the first day I've been in my car in like a week and a half. Just to drive down here. I don't even get in my car.
Yeah?
You know, I
You just
can walk
work. You just work from home. You never leave home.
No, I mean, I got the gym right next to me.
Just never. Gotta get some groceries. You gotta get some groceries every now and then.
I don't do any of that. I sit in my couch and I Amazon box.
Some more Lululemon shirts
That's right. I don't
showing
do
up at the door.
That's right. So my nipples don't shave. Gotta get the nipple fits off the bat so that I can enjoy my meals that I'm not buying because I don't go grocery shopping.
Did you just say so my nipples don't shave?
Do you buy Lululemon so your nipples don't shave?
No,
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Is this a niche that Lululemon doesn't even realize they're taking care of?
That's right. They should do the nipples.
I don't know. This is a problem out there.
My nipples are going up and down.
No, I do get it when I'm out, like, if I'm out, like, fishing or something, in the salt water and the shirt gets wet, nipples start hurting for some reason. I don't know why. They start hurting.
You know what it is? It's God caressing your nipples just a little too hard. The devil giving you the little.
What kind of weird ass fucking turn did you have, huh?
That's
What the fuck? Just put mustard on peanut butter jelly.
That's right. Man. You can put mustard on everything. It makes it tasty. Dude, I'm some yellow mustard.
Talking about.
It's the yellow mustard.
He's 5 foot of mustard.
Bro, don't go crazy. I can only do a foot of mustard at a time.
Yeah.
Why you over at 12 inches of mustard? That's a whole meal. That's a whole meal. Thank you, Grandma Griffin.
Man, that must have been some kind of crush you had in high school.
Don't shit your pants.
She just knew how to speak to me.
Oh my God.
Yes, they're shitty.
What's it like having a grandma?
Oh no, they're all dead.
Oh.
Amen, brother.
Oh, I'm just kidding. One of my grandmas is still alive. She just forgets a lot.
Yeah.
We need to get this episode over to them. I think they'd really like to hear their grandson's passions being on podcast.
Yeah, well, if she would remember who I am, that would be great.
That is important.
Yeah. My break her heart that I'm smoking weed on live TV. She probably thinks I'm never going to make money ever again if I did.
No, this isn't live anymore.
Oh, thank God. That way you can edit out all the marijuanas.
None of that. But I mean,
In Texas, it becomes tobacco.
Actually, in Texas,
according to Joe Rogan.
it's not.
Ooh, that
Not
probably
a
sounded
joke.
horrible. What?
Oh.
Hey, it's okay. You're not horrible. You're just subpar.
What?
What? Just
Well,
kidding.
I hit this thing and that was ringing off while y'all were talking. I will say, I think I've gotten better at the microphone. When I first started with this thing, I kept hitting it, figuring it out. It was falling over. It was like a solid month of trying to figure out the microphone situation here.
I'm done. You can do your job, buddy.
It took my jam.
John Cena.
Tune in tonight.
Dude, wait, both of you. I can't even see it.
These are my invisible glasses.
Oh, also, I got the design made for our the cards we're making. I just on the metal cards. I'm gonna put them on the metal cards, and then I'm gonna get them shipped to you. I just got to call the company because I think it looks like you can only do it on one side, and I want both sides of the card to have the design.
I
For the
think
game.
that like somewhere in the contract it said if the cards are made more than a year after the deal was made, then the contract is void. Something like that.
No, because they're being made collecting lava from Earth's core and spreading it out onto a metal plate mold, so that way we can carve the design into it. So perfection takes some time.
Good,
Michael.
good.
I know you don't understand that,
No, dude, I just,
but
yeah, no. You got it. You're the master.
and you just went up on the bar of the first person maybe I want to give it to. So
Well, I'm probably gonna give it to you real soon. How you gonna feel when it's the night before your wedding? I'll be like, yo, Dylan, what's up? No, I'm
I'm
just
gonna
kidding.
do it from 1,000 miles away. No, you just gave it away, buddy.
No,
Think you're
I'll
getting
next
an
to
invite
the-
now?
Well, you already.
You got to be careful. You're giving away your secrets now.
That way you're not gonna invite me. I didn't even want to go to your wedding anyway, you jerk.
It's gonna be. You need to sell some more stuff to afford to get there, Michael. Come on, man.
That's right, bro. You gotta make the money.
Pay your play ticket.
Well, I thought you would, because I'll be like your special guest. I'll sing that for you.
You're a special guest. You're a special guest.
You'll be the flower boy, except the bud boy. You just come out spreading bud down the
right.
walkway.
I'll try to throw an some weed to everybody in the crowd. Oh,
Just everyone gets a nug.
you love me. Ugh. I don't think
I honestly think my family would just freak out over that. They'd be like, "What the hell?"
Maybe your family, your girlfriend might not like that either. I don't feel like.
Definitely not. There would not be a happy camper.
Just let
Not
me
all.
talk to her. I'll convince her. She'll be like, I know it's not gonna. Yeah,
Smooth operator over here.
You're like, I'll
Trust me.
rubber band flowers to the nugs. It'll look great. Just throw
It'll
'em
be
out.
great. I love it. Your family, are they Catholic? Great, I love it.
The flower girl comes behind. The flower girl comes behind with lighters, just custom lighters.
That's right.
Your family?
Cool.
They'll shit themselves.
Oh.
100%.
I love it so much. They'll shit themselves.
You're getting a little laughs from the story, but I feel good in the moment, but afterwards, all the time.
Everyone would laugh except Christy, and that's the one that matters.
Yeah.
These are gonna go downhill real quick.
Well, the wedding day is about her. It's about you. Okay, it's not. It's you
Right,
just remind.
That's the only thing I asked for. Everything can be done. I just asked for one thing:
That's
bud
right.
to be thrown instead of flowers.
Hey, man, that's how laws are made, you know? Like, you got to talk about things, people do things, and you go, oh, no, that's not what we want.
I've said all I want at the wedding that when I've talked to her about it is
Yes.
if it's on a Sunday and an NFL game is on, there's a TV on at the reception, big screen, boom.
No, at the wedding. Right. Make sure that during the ceremony.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking
so you can
instead-
There should be an iPad between you.
no. Just make sure it's on the wall that you're like, yeah, maybe not her.
What if I
Yeah.
say
Just make sure. It's
What
like
if I say it's?
you're facing?
What if I say it's the wedding, right? And so I'm play on words. It's at the wedding, so she thinks it's the reception, right? The whole time. But then, like when the wedding comes and the game is on, while the ceremony is happening, we're both up there. Just the drop down screen starts coming down in the background of the church. The projector comes
Only for team winning though. Like if you're losing.
on. Yeah.
No, if you're losing, it just switches to a montage of all the greatest moments.
Instead, like if the Dolphins are losing, it just turns on the 1972 season, the Super Bowl. Maybe this, and then my vows is at the end of it is our marriage will be as perfect as this season.
Our marriage living fame and history like 1972 Dolphins.
Sweetheart, I know we're going to run into trouble, but as long as we handle them like them Dolphins did in that year right there, I'll tell you what, we're going to be just fine. We're going to be just all right. We'll be all right. Honey, we should
You and I have a good.
You should watch that video of our wedding, honey. Let's just watch the 72 Dolphins and remember the fire, passion, and love that's between us. That's all we need, baby.
Like, if you
That's
have
all we
something way
need.
worse.
God bless Don Shula.
All right, man. We're about ready to land this thing. Probably. Let's say you.
It's not landed. It's just going to keep going up. It's just getting harder to talk as we accelerate.
Certain point, you got to say, you know what?
You gotta call it. You just gotta say, time to jump out the plane.
You know how the rocket's going up and the sections come off? We're like the second sections come off. The last one's about to pop off and we're about to be in orbit. So
Them wings, they're just giving hell.
That's right. Don't forget to raise hell. Raise Dale.
Praise down.
praise Dale.
That's how I was thinking about the other day. That was hilarious. He goes, you know, somebody asked me the other day, what's the worst race? And I sat there. It's obvious, right? You know, my parents would agree. My grandparents would agree. My great-grandparents would agree. It's the whatever 500, 19 whatever, where they lost Dale Hart Jr.
That was at 2003.
Oh, that's what it was. Whatever it was, yeah. Worst race.
That's a horrible race. That's a bad race right there.
A bad race.
It's the worst race.
Long live Dale. Rest in peace.
Rip.
He would want us to continue on this journey and smoke another joint.
That's right.
All right, everybody. We'll leave it at that. Long live Dale.
Praise Dale, praise Dale.
Dale. Praise Dale.
What are we doing here?
239, man.